played and the games get saved so they can be played on another day. Rob's Arcade.
Sorry about that. Hey guys, and welcome back to Rob's Arcade. I'm your host, as always, Rob French, and today's a little bit different of an episode than what I typically do, just kind of hanging out with you guys, you know, doing comic book stuff and unboxing. Today I'm actually going to show you how to put together a way to display some of these things that you might, you know, have yourself hanging around the house and you're not quite sure, and just to kind of give you some ideas of some stuff you can kind of use, like even scrap, just to kind of make some really cool shelves. And what I mean is, I myself have tons of these figures and things. Just as you see, sometimes it rotates out, and it's just simply because I have too much junk and really nowhere to display anything right now. Before we moved from Richmond, Virginia, I had literally a Rob's Arcade. It was a little side room. It had all my stuff in there, a little couch, video games, and I could come in there and kind of hang out and talk to you guys in private. And since we've moved, Rob's Arcade has just kind of been floating around from location to location within our apartment. And I kind of made the comment before that it was a lot like Asgard. You know, Asgard is not so much a place as it is a people, and you know, the people who gather here in Rob's Arcade to hang out. But I wanted to do something to kind of give the apartment a bit more of a, I don't know, arcade, comic booky kind of shop that my wife and I really do enjoy. We're both, as you can see, huge fans of, you know, pop culture. And so without further ado, a couple of weeks ago, we did order some end tables, or some, I guess they're called nightstands, for the bedroom. And inside they came with these little extra panels. Now it's basically the same material that they use to back the little nightstands. And we got a couple of different ones and different sizes here, as you can kind of see. A couple of these, couple of those. And what I'm going to do is, using some of this permanent bond and some little L joints here, we are going to, little L brackets, attach these and create little floating shelves that we can maybe get some of these Transformer guys to hang out on and be displayed on, and get these off the windowsill, as well as kind of get some cool stuff up on the walls of the apartment. So if you will, kind of hang out with me a little bit. It's not too hard. I'm just going to show you what I'm going to do, and it might give you some ideas for something that you could kind of do similar in, you know, your room or your living room, anywhere you might want to kind of spruce things up with some cool pop culture displays. So be right back, guys, and when I do, I'll show you some of the first steps. All right, guys, I got a little workspace set up for us in the dining room. Now the first step should be really easy. All you're really going to need is like a marker and a ruler, just to kind of, like, you know, mark your places where the brackets are going to go. But let's go ahead and I'll show you what I'm talking about.
All right, so actually step number one when doing any kind of craft, if you're gluing, painting, anything like that, you're going to want to put down some kind of paper, newspaper, something on top of the surface that you're working on, unless you're in your garage and you don't really care about the table or what have you. But if you're working on your wife's kitchen table, you want to be smart and put down some kind of paper or something before you get started, especially if you're working with like super glue or any kind of paints or anything like that. Now, like I always tell my wife, before you start to cut, drill, do anything, you want to mark whereabouts you kind of think you want. I feel like about 2 inches in is a good spot for this bracket here. So what you're going to do is just, you know, really quickly just mark where you want that to go, and then you have a little guideline here that you can kind of line up later on with your glue and match up exactly where you would like that to go. And I'll do the same over here, make a little mark before I do my any gluing or anything like that.
Now I'll be using this adhesive here, this E6000 bonding glue, to attach the brackets to those little panels. Now typically brackets like that you would just drill into, you know, little boards, wooden boards for shelving. And I'm not doing anything that heavy, just, you know, we're hanging up little transformer figures on these guys, I think. So we don't need anything too heavy. And you don't want to drill into that little, you know, the board here. It's very, very thin, as you can see. And if you drill into this, you can just imagine the screw is just going to slide right through that. That's going to look pretty funny. So we're just going to use a little bit of glue, let it sit, let it hold, and then once it's had time to dry and really, you know, secure itself to each other, we'll go ahead and put it up on the wall. All right, I've got a pretty hefty line of glue there for each place there that I want to place these brackets. Just going to set it right there. Push down a little bit there. And I'll come over here, do the same thing over here, grab another bracket. Push this guy down. Get these guys nice and flush here. Press that down nice and firm. Firm press, firm press. Now for the next step, once you've got this pressed down nice and firm, you're going to want to get something like a wooden block would be great. I don't have one, but this will work just as well. Something that's kind of like a nice blocky surface. Just kind of press it there against the bracket because you want to make sure that it's nice and flush there. Over here, just kind of do the same thing. Just going to push that guy against there. There we go. That should. So like I said, this is going to go against the wall, so you just want something kind of match up what the wall base is going to feel like. There we go. I'm just going to let that sit for a little bit. I would suggest overnight even, just to make sure you get a nice strong hold. I'm going to go ahead and put a few others together and let it sit for a little bit. All right, all our cadets, as we can see, we've got 4 nice shelves all built. Now we're just going to let them dry overnight, hang them up tomorrow. Okay guys, as you can see, I got the first shelf already up and the holes marked here for the second one. I always like to kind of mark where I'm drilling here and leave like a couple holes, do a little pre-drill. And what I did is I took the longer shelf of the two and I rested it against the corner here and then kind of flushed it there with the bracket. So that way when I come down here, I basically did the same thing, flushed it with the bracket and then made my hole. So that way when I drill, these guys here will line up, and then I'll do something similar with the longer shelves so that everything kind of sets just right. But there we go. Let's go ahead and get these guys put in.
It was actually kind of interesting sequences.
All right, hopefully I get this right this time because my arm is getting so sore from trying to hold my phone. Okay, here we've got the 4 shelves, very easily installed, very easily assembled. Again, basically just using stuff I already had laying around the house. I think the whole project may have cost me something like $10 or $15, if that. And what we lined up with is a really cool way to display your action figures, your Transformers, whatever you might want to do, Lego sets. I like doing the floating shelves. My wife does as well. You know, it takes up the wall space, and then you're left with room down below, or if you want to put like a small little bookcase or something like that for magazines, movies, whatever else, you've got plenty of room there. So it's a really creative way to take up, you know, space that you wouldn't normally use for stuff like this, and to get a neat display going on with your action figures. You can switch it out and rotate it all around. So I'm happy with it. I think it's pretty neat. Hopefully it inspired you guys to do something similar. I don't know, you know, you guys probably have junk just like laying around the house, in your closet, in the basement, whatever. So I don't know, maybe this helped give you guys some ideas on, you know, something you can do yourself, like I said, to kind of display your Lego sets and your action figures and whatever else you might have that you kind of want to show off in your own living room or your own bedroom or your own arcade at home. So I don't know, guys, let me know what you think. Hit that comment section down below if you think it's cool and something you might do, or I don't know, if you think it's something like your 5-year-old brother put together. Hit that thumbs up, hit the thumbs down. Let me know what you guys think. I don't know unless you let me know. You got to let me know. If you are not a subscriber, I ask that you hit that subscribe button. Tons of cool stuff. The new month of October, we've got a lot of fun stuff coming up. You don't want to miss any of it. If you are a subscriber, hit that share button. Let's get some more people in here. And speaking of guys that are always in here and hanging out, as a subscriber, my good buddy Buck, I want to give a special shout out to you, dude, for helping me out with some new theme music. Look forward to some new theme music coming up on Rob's Arcade. That's been a lot of fun working on that. And yeah, guys, it's not goodbye, simply to be continued. And until next time, don't spend that quarter anywhere else. Thank you so much for hanging out, guys. Hope to see you again very, very soon. Later. Thanks. Now I'm choosing to use this little Bond glue here, this E6000 glue.